Hey, good morning. Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey, and today is beautiful Monday, Monday, November 7th, 2022. And yes, sun rose today at 6:33 a.m. So yesterday was daylight savings. Yep, they put the clock back. Oh wow. Yeah, so I have to change back my clocks. I realized that the time change on my computer and the clocks that it has in that. Yep. So yeah, I have to change the clocks in house here. Oh yeah, you had a good day yesterday. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning, and thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, we all need encouragement. And I needed that. I need that little thumbs up, that little voice out there in the wilderness to just let me know that, yeah, I hear you, Spirit Journey, and I just want to say good morning to you. Yes, good morning to you. Peace, blessings, and prosperity to you, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to know that people are out there and they hear you, they see you. It's nice to be recognized. Yes. Oh, what I want to talk about today? Well, the title, as you see, that the hearts of others growing cold. You guys notice that? That's what the title of this live stream is. I'm gonna just be doing general talk. It's a life is a work in progress. None of us have it all together, and things I might do might offend other people, but it just seems like to me that the hearts of people are growing colder and colder. And sometimes with me, I feel like, sometimes I use the words that I never used to use. I would say the past 3 years. And my apology for doing so when I, in anger, may say some words that, you know, potty words. And I don't want to go there, you know. So I apologize. But I see that we're all changing. And I want to talk about certain things, the signs of the time. I used to be a Christian, and I used to read the scriptures. But even though I don't practice Christianity per se, I'm not a churchgoer anymore. But I did read the Bible. And there are some things in the Bible that are sets of principles. Now, what is a principle? A principle, think of that as a type of law, something that doesn't change. It's something that no matter what your environment is, it stays, it sticks. It applies to all different types of environments. It's not based on race, religion, organized religion, nationality, or what planet you're on. It's about certain laws, so to speak, that applies to everything. Like do unto others that you would like others to do unto you. So there are principles that I still believe in. And one of them, I remember it talks about prophecy and the hearts of others are to grow cold. I mean, even though that part's not a principle, but I'm reminded that there are things that are true in the Bible, and certain prophecies or certain attitudes are such. Yeah, just in doing business with individuals, Now, I see people are more, I like to think, real business people, male or female, they're, they're about service, to do a service from the heart. Yes, this is a monetary system, and yes, the monetary system, we rely on dollars, and it's fiat money to pay your bills, pay for food, and all that, right? But people still had a sense of dignity. Dignity, yes, good morning, viewer. Yes, people had a sense of dignity over what they did. Let's say they were a baker. With baking, I used to do baking. I was a professional, I did so many things, work, but I used to be a professional baker. I went to school to learn what they call the pastry arts, and it's a hard field. And when you work in the kitchen doing that type of work, baking, making pastries, things like that, cakes, etc., breads, you have to get up early, early in the morning to start your day. And yes, I remember those times I had to get up very early in the morning, be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and do my task. And I met in the field people who, primarily they were from Europe. I worked in an American kitchen, but some of the people, a very big European staff. And one of the companies I worked for, a resort I worked for, yeah, half of the staff were from France. And the French take their food seriously. Yeah, they start off real young. They start at the age of 16, primarily in Europe or in France. Yeah, they start their careers at 16. No matter what it is, what it is, they start early, and they take what they do seriously. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice that you all are listening. Yeah, they take it seriously. And I would watch, I said, wow. I started the baking field late in life. I was in my mid-30s at that time. And yeah, I kind of watched them how, because I was learning. And I wanted to understand about things, life. And I learned a lot about them, about taking your work seriously, doing what you do with all your heart. And unfortunately, I didn't see that same tenacity in the United States. Here, the cooking field in the United States, it's primarily, well, I couldn't get into college. Yeah, I am a college graduate also, but this is how some people might think. Well, I'm not into college, and didn't do well in school. Oh, let me just do this because it's easy. I can't get anything else. That's the mentality primarily. That's what I pick up in many of the people here, in at least in New York City. And they just work to get a paycheck, and it's not about, hey, I'm in this field. Let me do it to my best. It's not that. And so the quality of the food now, since the past, I would say past 5 years, the quality of the food in New York City has dropped. And you have people from what they call in New York City, it's a euphemism, they call it guest worker. And the guest workers are working for a check. The quality of the food and what the food is made out from, it's all processed or GMO'd. And when you bite into it, it's not that good. Many of the stuffs, especially the sweets. Now I have a sweet tooth. It might look good. See about the world of illusion. It looks good, but it does not taste good. New York City is a culture of I want to look good, but I don't have to taste good. I can look like a beautiful woman, or I could look like be a man but dress like a woman. Just as long I look good for the viewer. And God forbid you try to bite into that fruit. You're going to be disappointed. See that how the culture is that there's no responsibility because it's a mindset. It's a mindset that is telling you it doesn't make a difference, so why bother? And I'm sad about that. The hearts of people are growing cold. So just pretend and look a certain way. They won't know the difference, nor will they care. Some of us do care. Again, we're all a work in progress, including me. But it's just what I'm seeing. The hearts of people grown cold. And it's just a veneer that you see, and the veneer is fake. I was listening to a YouTuber that I've been following now for, about maybe 9 months now. He's a religious person, but he speaks a lot of principles, and he's someone that really wants to do well at what he does, and his channel was picking up momentum, and what's happening now. They're taking away what's happening on social media. Let's say you're getting popular and everything, but maybe you don't. You're exposing certain truths. They're taking away his viewers. Let's say a video has 1,000 views, and they'll take it away and say maybe 10 watched. He's even said that he took like a screenshot of how many views or something was, and then a couple of seconds later, he took another screenshot of it and it changed. Because they don't want you to have certain narrative, to share certain narratives now. Wow. And so he got angry. Past 2 days he was expressing his anger. And he said, I feel fed up. That's what he said. He's fed up. And so we're trying to encourage him, hey, don't give up. Don't give up on your work. The work he does is pretty good. I like his numerology and symbolism. His work, that work of his is excellent. He does have a Christian perspective, yes. Some of his Christian stuff I'm not into, but I like his other work within it, But yeah, it's affecting him now. And that as people want to expand, people are noticing. Some of us are noticing certain things that are happening out there in the world. Those who are sensitive enough to pick up certain things. And we're being punished. We're being punished to share. People are now saying about the methods of energy. And now they're saying, we're not going to promote this form of energy anymore. And we're going to put it, on the surface it sounds good. Oh, you want to save the planet or decrease pollution. All that sounds good. But what it's really about is to get you what they call cockhold. To get you to surrender to being oppressed. To be re-enslaved. to remove a whole industry that people may rely on. Remember the past 2 years, people were forced to stay at home because of a belief in something and this method of treatment or how to handle certain conditions, and many people died. Many people were stressed out. Many people were angry at one another. And people started, even on my block, beating up people because they're stressed out. Because the hearts of others are growing cold. And people are being taught to be cold because more and more certain liberties that we took for granted are now being taken away. Such as ways of making money. Certain industries are now are being pulled away. And that means you might have whole townships of people now scrambling how they're going to pay their bills. This is by design. And this is, don't you think this will cause people who lost hope to do drugs? There's an epidemic of drug abuse. And in New York City, they're promoting the marijuana. It's not legal. I mean, I get ads on YouTube promoting marijuana. People you would never think, they don't fit the stereotype image of people doing that. But see, it's being bold. They want to tear down paradigm shifts. I mean, it's creating a paradigm shift of what was deemed illegal. And now, hey, everybody, free for all, go for it. Be careful about these new treats that are being promoted for you. These new little treats that's supposed to make you feel good. People are losing jobs. Why would you do that and promote and have commercials up in your face to take this marijuana and feel good? See, they want to dumb you down. They want to dumb you down, and so you don't resist. They don't want you to resist anymore. So yeah, we're going to take away your rights. We're going to take away your means of how you could make money. We're going to take away certain industries so that now that industry isn't around for you to make money, and we're going to replace it with something else. One thing, if they say, okay, we're going to change the industry, how to make energy, but all those people who were dependent on that industry, we're going to give you equal salary. What you were making before, you're going to keep your salary, and we're going to retrain you in this new industry. Now that would be something else. Now, I don't think anyone would really cry too hard about that. Let's say those who are in the upper age and they're just going to retire 1 or 2 years. So, okay, give them a severance package. You say, okay, government severance package, what you would have made in 2 years, we're going to give you that. And a bonus on top of it, for any inconvenience this is causing you. And you just go out and, go live in another country, whatever, that's cheaper, whatever. I don't think anyone would really cry about that. Or retrain people, keep their salary, retrain them in the new industry. I don't think people would really mind that. But they're not doing that. And so they're making it very easy and convenient for you to set up an outlet. They want to give you an outlet of escape. And in New York City, what it looks like, we're going to produce a drug culture. Now, yes, New York City always had drugs. But now, to make a particular drug is now legal. Hey, wait a minute. You know, there are people in prison for using that drug. You know that? People, are they going to release those people in prison for using marijuana? Are they going to let them go? Because now it's legal in New York City, and they do it openly. Yeah. Yeah, these shops now are springing up all over. Now look at this. See, the past 2 years, 2.5 years, in New York, throughout New York City, people were losing jobs. Companies that's been around since I started out as a young adult here in New York City, past 40 years, closing down. Yeah, it was a part of the whole New York flavor. Been around for 40 years, and then bloop, closed due to that, those past 2.5 years now. And the landlords were increasing the rate of the rents. That was another thing that was happening. The rents were going sky high. Like I have these little dogs here. Okay, that's one of them. The other one. The other one's in the other room, my third one. But yeah, in fact, the place where I got my dogs, they had two shops. The actual shop, the older one, closed down. So they have the newer one, and briefly that was closed down. Yeah, I talked to the owner maybe 2 weeks ago. If he does boarding, they don't do any boarding anymore because of, you know, the pandemic. And his other location closed because you have a new group that's becoming more popular and bold in New York City, and they would have their street parties. Well, no, I'm sorry, you call them block parties. And they boarded up, closed off the entrance into this street on Christopher Street. Okay, Christopher Street in New York City. They blocked it off, and they lost their business because they're having their parties. Because now they're celebrating because all the new freedom they have in New York City. But they didn't take into account of the businesses on that street. That's been there. The owner of the pet shop that I got my dogs, he said his father opened up the business 40 years ago. Hey, Kendrick. Hey, it's always good to see you. Yeah, I'm just seeing your message now. Make sure okay, you're the first message. Okay. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, thank you, Kendrick. Thank you. You put a smile on my face too. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's always good to hear from you. Always good to hear from you. So yes, what they did, this was just 2 weeks ago, he told me. They said that location closed down because they were having these block parties and celebrations, and people couldn't get access to his store that's been there for 40 years. His father opened up that shop 40 years ago. And he's been in the business for 20 years. And I got my dogs almost 13 years ago. See that? And now that location closed because people couldn't get access to that street. So he lost business and lost money, and they could not keep it alive. Could you believe that? It's almost deliberate, people. It's almost deliberate that the hearts of people have grown cold. And it sounds like they deliberately, when you prevent someone access to a store, and again, you want to be liberal, you don't want to sound like a hater, right? You don't want to sound like a hater, but this Christopher Street in New York City was blocked off, according to the owner of that store that I got my doggies at. They couldn't stay afloat because they kept on having these block parties, and they lost business. People couldn't see the store, so they lost business. Who would have ever thought something like that would happen? And you have to be a liberal, because if you speak out on that particular organization, you're going to be a hater. Oh, you know what else? I did a video last week. It was a live stream, and I think I did it like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It could have been. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. And it was about the news reports about these one, what was that? One was a sports person, the other is a musician, and they're the same race. And so I said, I have to be careful what I say here. But I said, I think we need an open dialogue. And if people keep on speaking out against you, maybe you should start listening and try to find out what's happening. What are you doing that's making people feel a certain way about you? And I expressed certain events that happened to me and how it made me feel. I'm about love for everybody. I don't think it really matters what someone's race is or nationality. I love variety. I love going to different areas and exploring different foods, whatever. I like learning about other people. But when someone does something to you that affects you, and it seems like it's by design to cause you harm or control over you, if you don't play the game, then we're going to penalize you. We're going to punish you. I know what that feels like, to be threatened by that particular group. Again, I live right here in New York City, and I'm surrounded by the people that those individuals are talking about, and you can't say anything. And I had a wake-up call when I looked at my birth certificate, and I saw that the same I'm going to call it ice cream flavor, existed at the time of my birth and at where I live now. And I felt like, oh my God, I am being controlled. Well, that particular video, I can't find it on my channel. Like when I use my iPad and just turn on, the what do you call it, the app for this channel, it's not there. Then I go on my desktop computer, and it's not there either. And then by accident, I there was some, I used a different browser to access YouTube, and then I see it. So I don't know what's going on. And then when I went back to the other browser, it's not there again. So what's happening? How could something there be there, and then it's not there on my I don't know where it is. And it's interesting that it's that one. I didn't get any message to say, oh, we're gonna, um, you know, misinformation or whatever. It's not there. There was no message. And so the same like this other YouTuber I've been watching now for about 9 months, that he took a screenshot of his channel that, now you see it and then now you don't. Now you see it, they're taking away the number of views. I didn't know that they can do that. Or let's say someone makes a comment, and then the comment gets pulled. And then it's not there. And I've had some videos that it says that like 1 or 2 comments. So I go click on it to read it, and nothing's there. I feel badly for those 2 men that are in the public eye, and they're being cockholed and made an example. But yet the person, at least there's a, what do you call it? I call it the warehouse. The people who are housing the places where you can buy certain things. What do you call it? What do you call it? Not sponsor. Host. The host of one of the people. They're not getting sued. They don't have to apologize. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? No apology. How could you have someone who's only showing you what they found, and someone who's actually selling the product? And the person who's selling the product, they're not being touched. But the 2 people of a particular race, complexion, are being used for an example. So if it really was about that what was being shared being harmful, why aren't you harming or discussing it with the person who is hosting or selling the product? Those 2 that one individual is not selling the product. Not They didn't say anything, but yet he's being punished as if he was. It's backwards. This is about control. But I think mostly, yes, it's about control and trying to scare black people. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think it's designed to scare black people and to distract us. See, this is another distraction that to make the hearts of people frustrated and angry, and that they love to make certain races in America angry because they're relying on you to get violent. People, do not get violent. Do not harm anybody's body, anybody's property, anybody's building, anybody's pets. Do not do any harm. And I repeat that, do not do harm to anybody, and even yourself. Don't do it. They want you to get stupid. And that's also why I think they're pushing the drugs in New York City, because they want to incapacitate your ability to think and reason. They want to incapacitate you of the ability to think and reason. And if you're not able to think or reason, then they could program you. Then they can program you. You program yourself. You program yourself how you want to be, how you want to respond. See, you want to respond, not to react. Oh, thank you, Brian. Yeah, you want to respond. Children react. Children react. And they want you to think and act like a child. They want humanity, especially black people, to act like children. Because that's how they want to see you. So it doesn't hurt them when they hurt your ability to make money. So they cockhold you, want you to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," but they're not sorry for what they do to you. I just say stay calm. I know it's hard. It's all a work in progress, people. But don't fall for the hype. They use these high profile people because they know that you look up to them, and they want you to destroy yourself. It's a new plantation. This is a modern day plantation where they want to get you jealous of one another. They want you jealous of one another and to turn each other in to the authorities, so to speak. They want you to turn your back and to get in trouble, your fellow person in trouble. Don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it. They want you to pull each other down. Don't fall for it. Come together. Just at least see through what's being done and make an intelligent response, not reaction. Respond. Respond. This is really a wake-up call that even though these guys might be millionaires or billionaires, that they're letting you know you don't control your destiny and that they control your destiny. That's what they're telling you indirectly, that they control your destiny, whether you're a millionaire, a billionaire, or a trillionaire. This is not fair. You have a right of self-sustaining, liberty. Sorry, let me just read that message. Okay, Brian says the powers that be do not want to see successful people. They see all of us as opinions. Yes, but especially they don't want blacks to feel too comfortable in their own shoes. They want to remind you that there is a leash on your neck and that you have a master over you. They're not doing this to Bezos. They're allowing him free range to sell whatever on his domain. It's free for all for him. Why isn't it for the basketball player or the singer? See that? That's what gets me angry. But yet, this is a distraction too. It's because see, we a lot of people look up to these type of people, these sports or music. Start looking at yourself. Start looking in the mirror and say, I am someone special that God loves, or your creator, and that you can make something on your own. Start being your own hero. Be your own hero, people. Be your own hero. So when someone else falls, you don't fall with them. Yes, you can use people as a motivation tool to motivate you to do what you want to do for yourself. But these other people are not your gods. Be your own God and encourage one another. Encourage one another. Don't, just because someone gives you something that makes you feel good, like marijuana, doesn't make it your friend. Just because they're giving you something that makes you feel good, it doesn't make it your friend, and is actually used to destroy you. I remember growing up in the 1970s, and back in school, people used to write on their desks, graffiti on the desk, and little notes on the desk. And I remember this one note, and they were talking about marijuana, and it said that it was a chemical called paraquat, and I think it's a pesticide or something. It's a chemical that they spray the plant. Did you know that a lot of things are sprayed? What are they spraying it with, people? Unless you grow your own and you know what you put in it, you better be careful what they put on, what you're consuming in your body, especially a drug like that. It is sprayed. And yeah, these stores are popping up everywhere. Oh, I remember I had kind of lost train of thought what I was getting at with the different stores closing. Yes, all over New York City, the stores are closing, even ones that are like 40 years old, um, because the rent is also going high. And then I remembered, yeah, this one store, the rent went so high, they said they couldn't afford to stay. So these new stores that are popping up, for them to move in, they have to have a considerable amount of money, because now the price to just lease a space for your new business, it has to be high enough. I mean, some of these stores, they're dressed up really nice looking. Oh yeah, those new drugs, those what we call cannabis stores. Yeah, some of them are real fancy, but it still has what they call a bad boy feel. See, they want to make you feel that you're doing something decadent, something perverse, or something illegal. They still want to promote that feeling, even though now it's considered legal. Excuse me, it's considered now legal to consume or smoke. So how are these stores opening up with this high rent? Because they know they're going to make a profit. They know now people are desperate. Who's desperate? Who? When you go look in those stores, who do you see in them? Black people, black men, young black men are the ones really going into those stores. At least they're the ones also selling it. They're selling it. The ones, okay, let me make a correction. Um, the actual stores are usually Caucasian type people, but you can have some people of color in them too. But the ones on the street, people with a little table out there, those are all black people. Young, poor-looking black men. But the stores, they seem to have a little bit of a better edge to them, a little bit more polish. Yeah, they're springing up all over. Who are their biggest clients? Who's selling it? Yeah. How could they afford to even buy this stuff if you're losing their jobs? See, people are going to get dependent. And most likely, my senses tell me that they're going to lace these drugs with a highly addictive edge to it. And they're going to be a zombie. I call it a zombie connection. That's what I think was going to happen. You're going to, yeah, the zombies out now, but especially I think with these stores popping up right next door to each other. I kid you not. They're right next door to each other, some of them. So it's going to be, this is the new wild, wild west, people. The new wild, wild west in Manhattan, New York City, of these drugs, the new drug den. They're going to be competing for prominence. They're probably going to give out freebies to the tourists, right? Give out little freebies and then get them hooked on these drugs. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I feel really badly about this. Yeah, I was, yeah, also, remember I did mention that I had wanted to move. You know, um, it seems like the powers at large, they didn't want me to go. I went to my financial institution, and now I spoke to them several times. I went in person, and you know they how do you say this? Now I love my bank, but what they did, see, when you withhold information, it's just as bad as lying. When you withhold information, it's just as bad as lying. They told me just a couple of days ago. See, about 2 months ago, I was told they laid on me this processor for direct deposits, international ones. First, they said that they do it, international direct deposits, and then they said no. And I was really, I discussed this before. I let a few weeks go past, and I said, I don't want to give up on it. I said, maybe just try on a different angle, just. So I went and investigated other options, and I said I was going to do it. And then I went back to my financial institution, and they know where I was going to go. I spoke to them about 4 times, and lo and behold, we don't mail anything internationally. So if you lose your card, now they were telling me I couldn't use my card. So I said, well, what if, vacation, Because first they said, they might, the using a foreign ATM machine, that they might think that it's someone stealing, and it's going to put a stop or send a message to you that you have to respond to. Okay? But now all of a sudden, okay, what they should have told me up front, that if anything happened to my card, they cannot mail to me internationally. So I'm stuck. If that ATM machine eats my card, or I lose it, or it gets stolen, or damaged, I'm out of luck. Shouldn't you tell that to someone up front? Hey, I'm interested in going moving internationally. What do I need to do? What should I be concerned about? Blah, blah. I put my cards on the table, people, and they failed to tell me. They failed to tell me. This was several months ago. And they just told me last week. They told me last week, when I was really trying to push the issue to go, I can't go. They said, look, you have to shut down your account here and open up a new one somewhere else. Where you going? We don't handle anything international, so that means we cannot call you an international number. We cannot mail to you anything. We just don't do it. They should have told me that months ago. but they didn't. They didn't. See, the hearts of many are growing cold. They see a young, I wish I were young. They see an independent black woman who wants to venture out and is upfront and ask for advice about how you should manage your money, about, if you're going to do something, a move internationally. They're a bank. And they refused to, they didn't tell me. But I think the guy was very tired of me keep on coming back. See, I kept on coming back to the bank, my financial institution, for advice, because a particular matter would occur. And so I wanted to be an informed individual. I wanted to be an informed individual about when a matter arises, how this is going to affect me and my money. And they didn't tell me. Okay, Brian is saying, if you are able to get a Navy Federal Credit Union account, would be perfect if you want to live abroad. Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing that. Yet some of them, like, somewhat interesting. I think I might have contact. Oh, I don't want to give wrong information. But I did contact a credit union, and some of them do give. There is a fee. Like one of them was a 1% foreign exchange fee, and they add up. But online, this YouTuber said that's what they use, and because she used it, I checked it out, and there is a fee. But anyway, let me update. This is also another update. Yeah, how the hearts of people are growing cold. Wow, I'm getting hot all of a sudden. Wow. Yeah. Remember, I had mentioned about I think now it's 2 months ago. That about the direct deposit. Yeah, I spoke to a supervisor who handles the international direct deposits. And they said that they do not do any of Africa or Mexico. And I got that in writing in an email. And she suggested that I should go back to the VA, Veterans Affairs, and discuss it again with them. But she doesn't handle it, okay? And I didn't want to go because they're the ones that initially gave me wrong information. So I do, over the weekend, and I found I spoke with a very wonderful person. And that supervisor gave me wrong information. This new person I spoke to on Friday, they gave me the link. They gave me the link, which I asked the lady, because I asked her, well, could you just give me a link of what locations you do have this? They said, no, we cannot give you that type of information. Well, this new person gave me the link. And I have his name, and I thanked him. He was so forthcoming with information. He spoke to me for 2 hours, this individual. He spoke to me for 2 hours. So what am I getting at here? See, you have people see, when you give, like when you're a veteran, I'm a veteran, and so they may have copies of your records or whatever. They may not want certain individuals to leave the country or leave to certain places for whatever reason. And when that woman spoke to me on the phone and sent me the email, she sounded angry. Now, I'm the one that should be angry because I almost paid for my trip. when I was finalizing everything. Yeah, I was supposed to leave last month. Yeah, I almost put down several $1,000s for my pet's departure and moved them first overseas. And luckily, my sixth sense told me, hey, I gotta find this out. Follow your instincts, people. Follow your instincts. And I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. And then I found out. So, either a lot of people are leaving, a lot of veterans are, are leaving the country, and that lady, that supervisor, got fed up. I almost lost money because I was given wrong information about the initial direct deposit. And then they changed their mind. Oh, we don't do it. So they, at least, both people I talked to, the supervisor and that person on Friday, they both are consistent. They don't do that particular country that I wanted to move to. Oh, Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico is something. I've been there twice. Yeah, they had that hurricane. Yeah, I wouldn't choose Puerto Rico, but that is an option. Yeah, it has its politics. It has the hurricanes and it has its politics too. Yeah, wow. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that, Brian. Thank you. No taxes, you say. Yeah. Um, so what was I getting at? Yeah, so you have people in high places, and when they see people wanting to escape, um, they don't want them to go. So how could it be in a couple of, one month later, someone is giving me the link of where they do the direct deposits? See, some people don't want other people to go. Some people really love the veterans. Yeah, the person that I spoke to Friday actually works for the VA, while the other person works for the Treasury Department. I'm sorry, the International Treasury Department, services. So one is actually a vet. I mean, worked for the VA. They're not a vet. They're not a veteran, but they love their job. Some people see. Some people really love humanity, and they want to help people, and that's what that individual was. Yeah. So he's consistent. They don't do that particular country, but he shared the link, and it's not a secret link. It's a government website. Yeah, yeah. Let me give this information. The Social Security Administration, they have a list of, see, many retired people live overseas, and they work in conjunction with the Treasury Department because that's where the money comes from. Your taxes, and it goes there. And many people move abroad, right? And so they have a website, and they have a list of people for the international direct deposits. It's a list of all the countries. That's the one. That's the link that the VA uses, and their form, the Social Security Administration, that the form that you fill out for your international direct deposits, that the VA uses the same form. They said just fill out the form, and you could just send it to us, or call. So any of you who want to veterans who want to move internationally, look on that list on the Social Security SSA. I think it's SSA.com or no .gov. Look on their website, and you'll see the list of countries and the form that you fill out to do it. and then call the the number for to do the international direct deposit, and talk to them. Yeah, yeah. Some people don't, each one teach one. Yeah, it's the same procedure, and that's just it. So whether you're getting Social Security, retirement, or you're a veteran the money goes through the same channel. That's what I'm getting. So it's the same country that they do, because the SS Social Security, like for everyone, you know, VA money, the Social Security does like 1,000 more for each one of ours. Yeah, so it's the same channel, same channel. So some people's hearts, like that woman, for whatever reason, hearts got cold. And she makes a lot of money. Yeah, all her information is on the internet too. Her name, her base salary, and then the gross salary. And she's preventing me access to my money. What if someone did that to her? See that? The hearts of some people are growing cold, and they don't want you to succeed. Some of them, they don't want you to be free to live somewhere else. They get money when someone wants to do a transaction. They get money for, they got a job to go to. Hey, you got a job, you go to work, and you do the uh, administration for that transaction. Boom, you got a job to go to, right? Something else must be happening. The hearts of people growing cold. They don't want you happy. So yeah, so when I thought I was gonna go away, I said, well, let me just check out something. So I wanted to get a dog sitter, and I just got a bad feeling about something. People, use your instincts. I mean, your intuition. Um, I was to meet up with somebody, and initially the person was very forthcoming. They would respond within 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And I like that. So wow, they respond quickly. But when I had to contact her, that because I found out about that, what the bank told me. So I notified her in advance. Say, I'm not going to be going after all, but I still like to meet up with you because in the future I may need you to board my dogs, and it'd be good that that the dogs see you, that I see, to see if it's a good match. So we're trying to decide decide what time and day. And when I thought things, when I was finalizing what time, specific time, I didn't get a response. And you know what my instincts kept? No, I didn't know what happened. And I was checking, because I had my computer up. I have, like you can have several windows open, on your computer. So I can always toggle back and forth, unless I'm watching a video, then I can toggle back to the email. And I didn't hear from her all that day. And she didn't call that day. But it was actually the day after. But because I didn't see anything pop up on the screen, so I just thought, something might have happened. Well, it was 2 days after, and something said, just check your emails again, just check. And I did get a response, and that there was an email. So, so I contacted them back, And again, no response. So I contact them again the same day. So I said to myself, wow, maybe, something might have happened. So I said, look, I haven't heard from you, and I just assumed that that meeting is canceled. We can always reschedule. Um, so I'll be leaving for the day, something like that. So I get a response from her at the time that we would have originally had the time. She had called 10 minutes before I was to arrive if I were to keep the schedule. And it made me think, I said, wow. So here initially, when the money was there, see, with these apps, you fill out the form and it has what your bill would be if you agree to it. See, I didn't want to press the agree button, which means I would be liable to pay the dollar amount. I said, look, let's meet up first. Let's see if we're compatible. And when that fell through, her urgency stopped. And then when I told her that, look, I cannot, I won't be going away, but I still like to meet with you and to, so that at least we know of each other. All of a sudden, there's no communication. So you have people who are only there when they think there's money around the corner. See, that is not being professional. See, if you're a certain way with A, B, and C, you should continue with D, E, and F. And I just got a bad feeling. What if it was emergency? What if I did have my dogs with her and then I'm trying to get in contact with her to find out the status? They're not going to be available because what it appeared to be was that they were money oriented, and when that dried up, and then what hours that there would be available to meet with me changed too. I said to myself I said, I'm just getting a bad feeling because I'm just picking up something. And I did read one of the comments, like these apps for these dog sitting places, people leave comments, like people who might have used the services. And I read one of the comments and I said, that's what I'm picking up about her. And I feel if I do it, then I'm going to be shafted. That's how I honestly feel, that if I pursued it. So way early this morning, I said to myself, don't do it. Just say, um, I won't be meeting up, and I don't want to hold your spot. Let I want to leave your calendar open for other people. And thank you for your communication. Yeah, yeah. It's just so I get a bad feeling. I feel like I'm going to be shafted. Yeah, it's just something that didn't sit right with me. That I felt that her true colors came out. And when you have someone dealing with your pets, your loved ones, and their true colors come out, like what Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them. Yeah, um, yeah. I'm just going by my instincts. Yeah, the hearts of others. They could put on a mask. Some individuals are very good with presenting a mask, and especially when money is involved, the mask is very pretty. And then they pull it off. And sometimes they don't think that you saw when they pulled it off. Listen to your instincts. Listen to your instincts. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to play this. You know, maybe I'm just to stand still. I'm not sure how to read it because if someone could say you can do something and then you can't do it and then now you could do it, they could easily pull it away again, right? They could easily pull it away from you, and that's what I'm feeling. I'm see if it's just me, I can swing it, you know. But when you're dealing with your little ones, that's my little boy, and I have two others. My other little girl, see that? When you're dealing with other living beings who are at your mercy, and they have control over your pet, what are they going to do? If they're all just money oriented, are they just going to lock them up in a room and then they go out partying? I can't risk that. I won't forgive myself if something like that happened and my dogs are traumatized. I know, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm being overly dramatic, but when someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's what Maya Angelou said. Yes, and I agree with that. I agree with that. We have a nation that's heart has grown cold and now being chemically manipulated with drugs. Yeah, in fact, I went. I'm not sure if I shared this story. Um, Yesterday was a very bizarre day. Yesterday was the New York City Marathon, and so I couldn't go to the park. So I went to this other location where there's a pier. And this drunken guy tried to get access to my dog. All my dogs are always on a leash. And I carry my dogs in a stroller designed for dogs, little dogs. So I take them out of the stroller, but they're still, you know, tethered to my body. They are never loose. And this man felt that he could just touch my dogs. And I warned, I said, please do not touch my dogs. And I can smell the alcohol on him, strong. He's getting angry with me. And I thought that he was going to hurt my dogs. Some people, when they don't get what they want, they hurt what you love. You ever have that happen to you? And I sensed it. So I try to like talk him down, like I said, it's no offense, no offense. I'm not trying to reject you. You know, I'm just, you know, please don't touch the dog. It says some small added remark, but he kind of calmed down a little bit. But and then it turns out he says, um, finally, oh, you know, I didn't know those were your dogs. If I would have known those are your, oh, I understand now why you wouldn't want me to touch your dog. Um, I didn't know they were yours. So you have people, and how I took it, that they can't, but yes, I do know 3 is a lot of dogs. But I mean, it's a lot, but it's like borderline. Yes, I have 3 little dogs. I have the stroller, and I think it's very obvious they're mine. But see, I think part of the problem is that perception. What is the perception he has? Oh, the perception is I'm a woman of color, and these can't be mine. Yeah, people, you know, I have my dogs, and sometimes I have my dog inside the stroller, and I had someone uh, telling me after I told them these are my dogs, is well, I want them anyway, and he went to try to grab one of them. While it's inside the stroller, I kid you not, people, the hearts of others have grown cold. They don't care that something is yours. And yes, there's the racial component because I'm a person of color. and they don't think people like us could own dogs. Now, it's not like I have 11 dogs. I have 3 little dogs. And the thing is that they immediately think it's not mine. And that's what I find offensive. They can't perceive that it is my dogs, that I could have nice things, that I could buy myself a stroller designed just for little dogs. It's a top of the line stroller. That I could have these purebred dogs at my disposal. And to say, well, I don't care that you're with the dogs and it can't be yours, so I can do anything with them because they're not yours. That's the mentality. And when I emphasize, these are my babies. So, oh, I didn't know they were yours. Isn't that stupid? The hearts of others have grown cold. And even though these dogs are tethered to me, and I'm minding my own business, that they disregarded that I'm in the care, that I'm taking care of these dogs. And who are you to tell them anything? And then they get angry and they want to hurt you. Yeah. Yeah, I made a prayer before I left. Yeah, before I go out in the daytime, anytime, I do a word of prayer upon myself and my dogs. Oh, yes, I do. Anytime I'm going outside, I give a word of prayer. And I speak a word of protection and a cloak of invisibility. Yes, I do. To become invisible to all the flaming arrows of all my enemies, foreign and domestic. Yes, I do. Start praying over yourselves before you go out. A word of protection and a word of favor upon you. Yes. So yeah, yesterday was a bizarre day for me. And I met up with some people later on that day. Yeah, it was a bad. In fact, when I took the train yesterday, there were a lot of police in the trains. Yeah, in the subway. Yeah, it wasn't like this. And again, it could be because of the marathon. Either way, they were there. They were on some type of alert. So yes, yeah, yesterday was a very bizarre day and emotionally very um, stressful day. But I'm glad. Oh, I did get hurt yesterday. Something, yeah. So when I was on my way back home yesterday evening, I got out of the subway, and lo and behold, what happened to me? I fell on the ground hard. Yes, I did. Let me show you my knee. Yeah, I feel so hard. Let me get my knee. I'm okay though. See that? See that? Yeah, that's my knee. Oh, it looks horrible. Yeah, I feel so hard. Yeah, I was walking across the street, and these I don't know what you call them, but they're like a pole. It's made out of plastic, and the base it has like a swivel that it goes back and forth, like a almost like a rubber band, or like a spring on. I'm sorry, not the rubber, like a spring. So if a car bumps into it, it just kind of wobbles. Well, it was broken and it was bent all the way down to the ground, and so it left a stub. And I tripped over that stub so hard. Why the city put them there like that and didn't repair it? And it was a very very busy intersection. I felt so hard. I had groceries with me. I fell like forward. My hands braced myself for the fall in front of me, and I had a long sweater on. So the sweater went past my hand. So it kind of protected my hands, so it didn't scrape them too bad. Yeah, it's like, let's see. You could hardly see it. See that? Yeah, luckily the shirt, the sweater went past my palms. So it just scraped it a little bit. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I felt real hard. So, yeah, so I went forward and I couldn't stop. And I landed on my hands and I kind of slid a little bit on my left side. I was all thrown out all over my part. Some of my groceries came out of my bag, and a young man with a little boy helped me up. He said, "Oh my God! Oh, are you all right? All right?" And he put my groceries back in my bag. I was so I said, "Thank you, thank you." He said, "Are you okay? You okay?" Yeah, it looked bad. How I feel, it looked worse than it was. Yeah, but I'm okay. My wrist hurt, my knees kind of banged, but I'm alive, and I'm so thankful that you have a human being, because no one else stopped. Only he stopped to help me up. Yeah, and he was a foreigner. I thank you, sir, whoever who you are. I thank you, and peace, love, and blessings be on you and your family. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much, universe, for that little special angel. Yeah, I was in pain, but luckily I didn't get seriously hurt. I could have gotten seriously hurt. I could have bashed my head. Yeah, I was just walking, taking my time. I was like, very mindful. I was thinking of something, and then I tripped over that thing. Yeah. That's what happened, folks. Let me see that message. Okay, Brian says, I wish you would have a broadcast with, Jason. Yeah, Jason, and, oh, I know them. Jason was attacked by, e- oh, was the security last week and wants to leave. Oh, Brian. Hey, Brian. Uh, um, yeah, uh, are you new to my channel? Are you one of the people that watch? Yeah, because I do watch Jason. Oh yes, of course. I watched Jason for over a year now, since the pandemic. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know you were gonna. I didn't know that you knew him. Yeah. Thank you for that message. I spoke to Jason. Yeah, if you're one of the people that got in contact with me after I spoke with Jason, yeah, Jason Goodman, I think that's his name, Jason Goodman. He's a YouTuber, and he does what I used to do. I used to go outside and do live streams as I walked outside, but I stopped a little over a year ago to do the live streams outside. Yeah. I used to use my cell phone, but now I don't have a cell phone. I don't have cell phone service anymore. I needed to save money. I have a house phone. And yeah, I used to do go out and talk like Jason does. And I bumped into Jason, what was it, about a month ago? Yeah. And yeah, I said, Jason, is that you? We spoke for like 5 minutes on the camera. Yeah, that was such a treat. Yeah. I was watching his video that morning in the shower. I said, boy, I hope I one day bump into Jason. It'd be nice to see him. Because I like going to the areas where he goes. Yeah. I have watching you, and your words today were just resonated with me today. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I like yeah, Jason got attacked. Yeah, I felt his pain. I felt it. Yeah, he said about 3 or 4 people attacked him. Oh, oh wow. Okay, so yeah, I used to have his what do you call it, Patreon? Yeah, I used to have his Patreon last year, but yeah, I had to cut back last year. Yeah, I used to have memberships to other subscribers, Patreon type of thing, but I wanted to save money. So I cut my cell phone service and my Patreon. So you're on his Patreon? Because I didn't see. Yeah, he did say that he was going to put on Patreon the attack. He has part of it on his cell phone. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, I feel badly for him. Yeah, because I watched that live stream. When he was waiting by TikTok. Yeah, I watched most of it, and it was getting dark. Yeah, 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 probably when I left, I think it was after 7. Yeah, it was dark outside. Yeah, I said, nothing's happening here. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Twitter. Thank you. Twitter. Oh, it's Twitter. Yeah, 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 yeah. My mistake. Thank you. That's right. Twitter. My mistake. It's Twitter, not TikTok. My mistake. My mistake. My correction. Yeah, thank you for that. Twitter. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have Twitter actually. Yeah, I don't have Twitter. But yeah, I wish him luck. Yeah, the yeah, I had yeah, I shared with Jason when he announced that he got attacked. Yeah, I shared with Jason. I told him that I had gotten attacked last year in November. Yeah, last year in November. And you see, people's hearts are growing cold. And what sounds like what happened to Jason with the cops happened to me. And yeah, I was just on my way home from the dentist. I had a dental appointment on the Upper West Side in Manhattan, and I had a great service. I didn't have any cavities, so I was feeling really good. And I was halfway home, and a street person attacked me in the middle of the street. It was a cheap shot. I got the cops right away. Someone helped me find a cop across the street. I pointed to where the lady was. Yeah, there were other people around. They say she went that direction. Is pointing, and then I looked where they were pointing. I said, yeah, that's her. And me and the cop followed her. The one cop uh, got to her, and then it was a scuffle. And then all of a sudden, 3 other cops came to the scene to subdue her. She was drunk. See that? Um, and once they got her subdued and they had her sit on the ground, on the curb, I walk up to the cops to let them know, because the other 3 cops didn't know who contacted the initial cop. So I said, so I told them, that I was the person that she attacked, and I want her arrested and prosecuted. And the cop, the supervisor on the scene, he got angry at me for saying that. I got attacked, and I was in pain. Yeah, young lady, big bone, hit me in the center of my chest. When someone hits you at full force on the center of your chest, your heart could stop and you could die. That's what. Yeah, she hit me to hurt me. And she also attacked an elderly man, a real elderly man, and another man. And when I told the cops that, the supervisor, he puts his hand towards my face and waving his hand in front of my face. No, 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 like that. No, 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 no. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. He said, well, I'm not going to arrest her. I think what she did was just harassment. Could you believe that? He said, that's not considered an assault. Yes, it is an assault. He said, I don't think it's an assault. She was just harassing you. I said, I'm in pain. She hit me in my chest. I'm in pain. It was unreal. So guess what? So here I'm in pain, and they got an ambulance for her. He says, oh, well, do you want an ambulance too? I said, yes, I'm in pain. So she gets on the first ambulance, and then the second one came. I got in. But could you believe that? I'm the victim. They're just treating her. Oh, they feel so sorry for her because she was drunk. They said, oh, well, something about schizophrenia and her medication. Oh, so that's the game she's playing. That she's a schizophrenic and she forgot her meds. Yeah, and she started throwing up. They got a barf bag for her. Oh, they treated her really nice. And me, they treated like I was a criminal. And they asked to see my ID. Did they ask her for her ID? I didn't see her take out any ID. They asked me for my ID. And when I realized, they wanted to see if I was a criminal. See that? They see a person of color. Oh, you must be a criminal. Let's see if you have a criminal record. 2 for 1. We'll just let the lady go. Bring her to the for mental eval. And since it was last year, they weren't holding in any mental patients. They let them go, and they knew that. Yeah, she was a young Caucasian female. She looked like an out of towner. Yeah. Oh, let me see that. Brian says the NYPD gave Jason a criminal warrant and ignored the video of the it. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Are you serious, Brian? Oh my God. Here, I was just walking home. I came out from my dentist, and I'm usually not on that street. And I walked to the facility because I was afraid to take the subway because we have a lot of high crime in the subways. So I thought I would be safer to walk to and from my dental appointment. It was a beautiful, beautiful day like this one here. And then whammo, during in broad daylight. And the cops got angry with me. I didn't do anything. And they want to check to see if I'm a criminal? Yeah, oh, that'd be interesting if I talk to him about it. It would really be something. Um, that is an option. I mean, let me be honest. Yeah, I watch Jason's work all the time. I love his program. His program was a real comfort to me when I was, during the COVID, we're not supposed to that C word, during the pandemic, you know, because, he walk, it was interesting. It made, because I know the areas that he'll walk with his guests. So it was reminiscing, because, you weren't really allowed to really socialize. So I liked his work. But I think this is the age of if you're friends with somebody, we're going to pull you down like those two, like that athlete and that singer. I'm not going to give names. And because they have uh, similar belief systems, they're being persecuted and given a fine, and now their endorsements are being withheld. Yeah, this is how they punish you. And I feel that if I'm starting to think that if I did something like that, um, that I would really be targeted by, I think I'm already being targeted by these people. I mean, how things are happening. Yeah, I think people are being I mean, not to sound paranoid, but you your social media content is being observed. That's what I'm getting at. So no matter what you say, you have people who, um, I guess it's flagged. You ever see the movie by Jason Bourne, the Jason Bourne series? And when it was a reporter, and the reporter was talking to someone on the phone, and he said a particular word over the phone, his cell phone, and it triggered an alarm to some agency, and then he had him tracked, and then they killed him. I think certain words that we say, I'm starting to think now, and here that movie was made several years ago. And I know that technology has increased since then. But just using that movie as an example, that certain words you say over um, a speaker is could be triggered and flagged, and that maybe it's also connected to maybe the um, law enforcement people, and have you flagged and set you up. You know what I'm getting at? I mean, really, here you have a sports person, and he just put something on their account, their social media. They never said anything verbal, verbal or it was just like a picture of it. And here they wanted him to apologize and then find him a large penalty fee, and then cut off his endorsements. It's another type of slavery and prison for us. It is another form of prison. And that's what I feel. That's what I'm sensing. Some people are able to get away, like the person who sponsored, I don't want to say sponsor, but what do you call it? Yeah, a hosting. They're hosting that particular book or movie that that some people don't want people to know about, you know? I think something like that is happening these days. And you think everything's cool, and, but certain conversations may be viewed and flagged. Something else, people. You heard about that person in government whose spouse, whose husband got in a rough with somebody in their home. Did you know that when a house is under attack, and if it's a high profile, sorry, my power, yeah, my power's going off soon. Yeah, did you know, people, that let's say you used to live in a house that was owned by a famous person, a government official or an ambassador, that address gets flagged to law enforcement. So even when that person leaves, that address is still flagged, and they'll come right away if any uh, 911 call is given in that address. So when the authorities came, they knew whose house it was. Oh, what was the point I was going to bring out? Oh, I forget what the point was. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate when that happens. Well, certain things are flagged. Oh, I remember. They're flagged, and also like a reversal. Sometimes the reverse happens. If you call from a home or a region, they are told not to come. Years ago, I think almost 30 years ago, Yeah, about, oh wow, about, yeah, over 30 years ago, an incident happened where I used to live, and it was a break-in. They got on the porch, but they didn't get on the main house, and I panicked, and I thought he actually got in the main part of the house, and I ran, and I went on the roof. Now I called the police. The alarm system called the police. The person I was talking to on the phone before the break-in uh, called the police. That's about four calls already. You know whose call made it work? The person across the street where I used to live was an ambassador's house. And when he saw me in distress, he said, I'll call the cops. Yeah, I'll call the police, he said. And that car came, that police car came. And how I found out that was when I got back inside the house, and the police were in the driveway. And I went to talk to them, and other families, people who I knew came to the scene. Um, a cop, a young white cop, comes in the kitchen, looks at me, and then he ran out the room in fear. And it brought into it sounds funny now, but this is what actually happened. He ran out. Now this is a clothed a police officer, in a uniform with a gun. He ran away from me and brought in two black cops. And I'm in my nightgown. He says, "Are you the woman that was seen on the roof?" I said, "Yes, I am that person." I thought he broke inside the house, and I had to flee. I had to get out. That's how I knew which police call made them come over. It was my neighbor who lived in a high profile, what used to be a high profile address. And the fact that that person called from within his house alerted the cops to come and uh, 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 come to my aid. All those other phone calls, no one came. No one came. No one. Only that guy. I was up on that roof, I think, 40 minutes. No one came to my rescue. No cop. So the reverse is true too. They won't come to a particular area because of what you are. And they'll come to others of who you are. See, the hearts of many have grown cold, people. But in the positive note, because I have to, my batteries are running low here. The positive note in all this, people, is to love yourself, to respect your body, to eat right, to be good to yourself, to not punish yourself when you have these people with these negative mindsets who want to mistreat you or disrespect you, or just, whatever. Love yourself. Be aware and to trust your instincts. Yeah, this is a warfare, all right? This is war. This is a quiet war, a war of coercion, but it's a silent coercion. You don't do this, or else I'll do that. That's what's happening. But it just means that you are a chosen. Think of you as a chosen one of goodness. I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. I am a work in progress. But I believe in humanity, to do good to humanity, to do good to the planet, to care for one another who's in distress and need. And also to know, hey, some things, some individuals, it's good to stay away. When there are in situations when it's mentally uh, harmful to you, it's good to stay away. Okay? So, yes, this is what's happening these days. And you have YouTubers, innocent YouTubers that I might have mentioned early in this live stream, who are just sharing information. And they've taken away his ability to make money now. They have the power. See, he's into the occulted numbers. He is a Christian, but he also is about the like symbolism and things like that. And he's getting too close to the truth. And so now they're punishing him. Yeah, he's a very, very popular, growing YouTuber. And now they're punishing him and they're removing his viewers. And he took, what do you call it, a screenshot of the video that they took away 1,000 views. And then compare it again and take away more. They take away his, what do you call it, his subscribers. Each day they take more and more away of his subscribers. And you know, they're also messing with my account as well. Yeah, they're not making it grow at all. And yes, I'm having some subscribers that are being taken away, but nothing like his. Yeah, they're just keeping my thing real dormant, like they don't want me to grow on my channel. Yeah, this is a war. This is a war being done upon humanity for seeing through the illusion. They want you to stay in the illusion and want to alter the way you think. They want you doped up and putting up all these marijuana stores in your neighborhood. How are you going to afford that marijuana if you have no job? They're going to be stealing from you and creating a zombie world. But be of good cheer, people. You have yourself. Love yourself. Love those who love you. Watch over each other. Encourage one another. Be good to your body, your mind. And if you need to leave, leave. Use wisdom and everything. And yes, they can outright lie to you like they lied to me. They can lie to you by withholding information they know about it, or actually just lie like that supervisor, or they don't do that continent of Africa or Mexico, when that is a lie. People are jealous. People don't want to see you leave and protect yourself. You do what you need to do to protect yourself and harm no one. Do no harm. Do no harm. Do no harm upon yourself or others. Yep. Yes. Oh, sorry, dear. Yeah, I got 5 minutes on, 5% on this battery. So I thank you again. And thank you for the information and thank you for encouraging me. Peace, love, joy, and prosperity be unto you. Take care and enjoy your day. And you can put your comments below. And those who love this channel, want to support me in my endeavors, you could PayPal me. And to do so, just go to the banner on my channel, Spirit Journey channel. Yes, thank you, Brian. You see the link on the right-hand side of the banner. Click on the link, follow the prompt, and any amount would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I thank you in advance. Peace, love, joy, and power again to you all. Until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.